playing tomorrow, round of 16. 16 teams have been able to progress to the second round. So we will talk about Nigeria's chances of making it through to the next stage of the competition. Of course, we will come home, look at the home-based Eagles. They've intensified preparations for the crucial match against the Elephants of Côte d'Ivoire. So we will, take a sneak peek, look at how they're preparing, look at the news from the camp, the players that are in, the players that are out, and how some of those things might affect the chances of Nigeria. So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at what's happening on the local scene as well before we cross borders, in fact, travel, go abroad, look at what is happening in Europe. Fenerbahce is in the news. We will look at that. And of course, we'll spare some thought for athletics, look at the Diamond League that was held in Birmingham, in Nigerian. That's Blessing Okagbare, grab the headlines. We will look at that. And of course, after doing all this, we would spend whatever time we have left looking at day 8 of Wimbledon. World number 1, that's female world number 1, Serena Williams, crashed out. She lost to Sabine Lisicki of Germany. So we would be looking at all of that. And Novak Djokovic, still in it, defeated Tommy Haas a few minutes before we came into the studio. So that's the outlook of the show tonight. It promises to be an exciting edition. Let me quickly introduce my guests. Like I said, both guys making their debut on Sports Tonight. I have Toby Adepoju and Tayo Salam with me. Let me quickly welcome you guys. Welcome to Sports Tonight.
Yeah, good evening. Good to be here.
All right. I know you guys have a lot to say about the match that we just saw. But before we do that, let's take a look at the results. Third place and final. What's the results? A confirmation of IOL went down. In 90 minutes, Italy and Uruguay played a 2-2 draw, and he ended 3-2 on penalties. Well, that's it. Brazil, surprisingly, surprise, defeated world and European champions 3-0. I mean, it just took out the Spaniards, didn't break sweat, made it look so easy. And I'm very sure you guys would explain to me how the Brazilians could do that. And of course, like we said earlier, Uruguay, 2 goals from Edison Cavani, drew Uruguayans level. But of course, it wasn't enough. Gianluigi Buffon, hero of the day, saved 2 penalties. And the Azuris, well, it doesn't count for much, but I mean, they are third in this tournament. But let me start with you, Tayo. What happened? I mean, none of us could have thought the Brazilians would beat Spain the way they did.
Absolutely. If I'm going to be very honest with you, I actually gave the Brazilians a very good chance of winning that game against Spain yesterday, because I felt the Spaniards throughout the group phase have not they've not been really tested. So coming up against a Brazilian team with a lot of weapons, I felt the Brazilians exactly. I felt the likes of Neymar, Fred, and
a coach that has a good brain on his head on the bench.
Exactly. If you want to consider the angle from the bench as well, you have Luis Felipe Scolari on the bench, assisted by Carlos Alberto Pereira. So when you have those two coaches on the bench, I wasn't really surprised with what I saw yesterday.
Okay, Toby, I don't know. Did you see it coming?
Yeah, I saw it coming. Discussed this with a lot of people around me. You look at the Brazilian side from the group stage. They look dominant, especially with Neymar going forward. Fred, converting the goals. But look at this, the Spanish side also. You can't take anything away from the derby champion from Europe. They played they played well. They played good football, but. One thing about this Brazilian side, they convert the chances. And when Spain played against Uruguay, Uruguay failed to have plenty of chances, which the back for the Spanish side were not tested well. Against Tahiti, the walkover. Against Nigeria, you could see how Nigeria penetrate into their box. And you could notice if they see a side that could convert the chances, they could have edged them out. Against Italy, we saw how the Italians worked them out. They got plenty of chances, hit the woodwork, and against Belize, and we were clinical in front of goals. They were better than the Spanish side tactically, and they just got everything working for them. They got the fans behind them. Neymar, Fred going forward at the middle of the park, against a plate of quality stars. At the back also, there's Thiago, Silva, and was wonderful on the night.
Tayo, let's talk about two pivotal, two situations that could have turned the game around.
Yeah.
The clearance on the line, first half, David Luiz, and the penalty missed by Sergio Ramos.
Yep.
Do you think those two probably affected the outcome of the game?
To be honest with you, Yemi, if that penalty, if the goal had gone in, and
The Pedro effort.
the Pedro effort was cleared off the line by David Luiz had gone in, it's that kind of game I still feel Brazil could have gone on ahead and won the game because they were that better than Spain on the night. And talking about the penalty, that was a face palm moment, if you ask me, because I don't understand what Sergio Ramos was doing, taking a penalty when he had the likes of Iniesta on the pitch. But like I said earlier, if those two situations, in my own opinion,
wouldn't have affected.
Absolutely no. I felt the Brazilians in the second half dropped a gear or two. They dropped a gear.
The Spaniards
they allowed them to play. They just allowed them. It felt really, really embarrassing because it was like the Brazilians were.
I think it was up until I don't know if you agree. I think it was up until the second half that Spain were able to string
the passes together. Like you said, you can't take you could respect Scolari and the technical bench of Brazil in this one. They work very hard for this one. You could see the tactics was planned well. Like you said, anybody can miss a penalty. We've seen Sergio Ramos,
scored and
also miss. And you expect Sergio Ramos, to nick that one in against Julio Cesar. You pull that one out. But I think if the Spanish side could have, gotten that 2 goals, I think the Brazilian side could have also fight it back and maybe extend the match to 120 minutes. But I still think the Brazilian side had a very good chance.
Yeah. Let me say this: it's not a knee-jerk reaction, but usually things like this come up. Does this signal the beginning of an end? It happened to Barcelona. A lot of people said so many things. It has happened to Spain now.
Yeah.
In your own opinion, I'll start with you, Tayo. In your opinion, is this the beginning of an end? Is something wrong with Spain? Or this is just one of those days?
No, there's nothing wrong with Spain. This is the Spain we've all known.
Yep.
They play the same way. They have a lot of possession. What they had against Brazil yesterday, they had about 64% of the possession at a certain period in that game. It's not the beginning of the end for the Spaniards. They met a very good team on that day that was tactically disciplined. They actually had everything spot on. I thought the Brazilians had everything spot on from the double pivots in the middle of the park.
Gustavo and Paulinho.
Exactly, the shooter
denied them time and
very
space.
Well, they executed their
and exploited their weaknesses when the chance presented itself.
Exactly, they executed the eye pressing game in a very intelligent manner. And once they got the ball back, an occasional ball over the top of the Spanish defense caught them napping, and you had the likes of Neymar being isolated with
Arbeloa, the weakest link.
Arbeloa, PK. That's a no contest if you ask me.
Let's look at the awards. After that competition, players, teams, all of them, FIFA gave out awards. So let's just quickly look at it. Golden Glove, keeper of the tournament. I don't know if you guys disagree with it.
No.
Julio Cesar. I don't know if there's any goalkeeper at that tournament. I thought her own goalkeeper was in with a shout. Vincent Enyama, but maybe I'm just being patriotic.
But I think Julio Cesar, did well. Despite great performance on the likes of Neymar, I think Julio Cesar also did well. He had a couple of plenty of chances.
All right.
How to help the Brazil to win this
Fair play, Spain. In spite of that red card by that Gerard Piqué got.
I really don't get the
criteria,
the essence of that award, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know how they came about.
Well, the side that doesn't
accumulation of cards. I think maybe the decision was made before the red card.
Before the final.
Yeah, because
it would have made
the team. I don't recall Brazil getting a record in this tournament as well.
They probably would have picked more yellows than the Spaniards. And this one, Golden Boot, Fernando Torres. Fred also has 5 goals, but Fernando Torres gets it. Because of the assist. And Golden Ball. I mean, you just can't argue about this. It definitely has to be Neymar.
Absolutely, and one of the talking points I brought up from that game yesterday is Neymar is ready for the big stage. And a lot of people have been doubting. They've not been doubting his technical abilities. A lot of people have been doubting his temperament when it comes to the big games. A lot of people wondered if he was going to.
We feel he's overhyped. I still feel so.
Okay, that's your opinion, but I don't think so, because from what we've seen so far in this tournament, he's been very, very good. Like, if you just check out his record in his records so far for Brazil, it's been incredible. 24 goals in 39 games for Brazil. That's at that age of 21. That's a very good record.
So you don't have to wait for too long.
Exactly.
He's good. He's joining Barcelona.
But
so we'll see.
Yeah, but he's giving us a tip of the iceberg already.
We'll see. We've seen a lot of players show promise,
Yeah.
only to get to Europe and just fizzle out.
Yeah.
But we'll see if it's worth every penny of that. Was it £54 million now? So we just have to wait and see. We're going to switch gears now. Still we're still